A lot of people out there were saying that the Bud Light boycott is coming to an end, that people are losing interest in the Bud Light boycott and in the Anheuser-Busch boycott. And I was honestly a little bit scared of it as well, because we saw a huge drop off in the week of Memorial Day. And then we kind of saw the numbers drop off a bit. As you can see right here, it was 23.9% last week. I think it was up over 25% in the week prior to that. So I was like, okay, are people starting to lose interest in the Bud Light boycott? Are people kind of, moving on to the next thing? Because there's a ton of boycotts going on right now. There's a Target boycott, the Kohl's boycott, the Call of Duty situation. There's a ton of different things happening right now outside of Bud Light. And it's a typical thing for the conservative side. It's a typical thing for the common sense side of things to kind of spread ourselves a bit too thin. Because if we're being honest, if we try to boycott every single company, every single corporation out there that's doing dark things, that is supporting the same thing that Bud Light is supporting, then we would definitely spread ourselves too thin, because we wouldn't be able to buy any products whatsoever, because almost every single corporation out there is supporting the same thing that Bud Light is supporting the same thing that Target, Kohl's, Nike, all these other corporations are supporting. So it would be really hard to boycott all of them. I just think that we should stick with one, really bury Bud Light, maybe even, really bury Target as well at the same time, or at least do our best and just set an example, make an example out of Bud Light to all these other corporations. But like I said, a lot of people out there were saying that the Bud Light boycott was falling off. It seems like that is not the case, as we gain ground once again. Bud Light sales sink 24.4% as rival Modelo continues to gain share. Bud Light sales continue to plunge as the nation's #1 beer brand continues to lose share to runner-up Modelo, but its sister brands are beginning to recover from the disastrous marketing partnership with Dylan Mulvaney. It's so funny how the New York Post is even saying that the Bud Light partnership with Dylan Mulvaney was disastrous. Like, it's so funny that even they are just absolutely forced to accept that the partnership with Dylan Mulvaney was disastrous. Sales of Bud Light dropped 24.4% in the week ending in June 3rd, slightly worse than the 23.9% decline over the previous week, which had included steep discounting over the Memorial Day weekend, according to the data from Bump Williams Consulting and Nielsen IQ. Meanwhile, Anheuser-Busch's Michelob Ultra, the nation's third biggest brand, sales turned positive for the first time in weeks, with a 0.7% sales increase versus a 0.1% decline the previous week. Elsewhere, Anheuser-Busch continues to drop, although at a slower rate. So the problem is, a lot of people out there know that Bud Light isn't to be bought right now. And I'm sure that a lot of people out there also know that Budweiser, just by proxy, is also not to be bought right now. People don't want to be seen drinking Bud Light. You don't want to be seen walking out of the grocery store with a case of Bud Light. Everybody knows that. But most people out there, most normies out there, aren't going to do enough research to know what other beer brands are owned by Anheuser-Busch. Most people out there don't know / don't care that you're supporting Anheuser-Busch by buying stuff like Michelob Ultra or the other beer brands that Anheuser-Busch also owns. They just know Bud Light is to not be bought right now. Like, you don't want to be seen. The social pressure is there to not buy Bud Light. They don't know about the other brands. And honestly, I don't really think it matters, because like I said, this isn't about burying Anheuser-Busch. Like, let's be real, we're probably not going to put Anheuser-Busch out of business. They're very diverse in their sales and their beer brand sales. They own a ton of different beer brands, and all of them are very recognizable. Bud Light is obviously the best one. It's the #1 beer in the world, the #1 selling beer in the world. So if we could actually put them under, if we could actually take them out of that top spot, that'd be a huge win. But this is more about, like I said a million times, this is not just about burying Bud Light. This is not just about burying Anheuser-Busch. You have to look at the bigger picture here. It's about showing these other brands, these other beer brands and other corporations separate from beer altogether, like Target, like Kohl's, like Nike, all the other brands, like even Call of Duty, going all over the place, all these different facets of business. It's about showing all of them that if you platform these same ideas, these same lunatics, the same people, whatever it is, even if it's just an idea, if it's the actual person, doesn't matter. If you platform this stuff, this degeneracy, then the same thing could happen to you. You could, week over week, week after week, I should say, could have a 24% decline in your sales if you do similar things to Bud Light. That's what this is all about, in my opinion. It's about the bigger picture. Garth Brooks also addressed the backlash to him saying that he would serve Bud Light in his new bar. As you can see right here, it says country music star Garth Brooks addressed critics Monday after he said his bar would serve Bud Light, and made other comments. And he again said he wants customers to show tolerance. Now, I'm good, man. I'm tired of showing tolerance. I've shown tolerance for the longest time. I've tried to be compassionate for the longest time, and it didn't work. Look where that got us. You know, we're now seeing naked trans people in front of the White House for Pride Month. Like it's just gotten us to the point where the country and Western civilization as a whole is on a steep decline. And it's time that we take this shit back. You know, it's time that we stop with the compassion and stuff. It's time we stop with the tolerance, because that hasn't gotten us anywhere. It's gotten us somewhere, but it's gotten us in a complete opposite direction of where society as a whole needs to go. We're going to serve every brand of beer. We just are. It's not our decision to make. So apparently it's not his decision to make, but he's also very for tolerance. I don't understand how that makes any sense. Our thing is, if you come into this house, love one another. If you're an a-hole, there are plenty of other places on Lower Broadway to go. People upset with Brooks' remarks vented online and said they would burn their merchandise. Representative Matt Gaetz took exception to Brooks' remarks, interpreting them as insulting. Brooks addressed the controversy on Monday on his live stream inside Studio G, acknowledging there had been quite a little bit of a stir since the Billboard event. Everybody's got their opinions, but inclusiveness is always going to be me, Brooks said. I think diversity is the answer to the problems that are here and the answer to the problems that are coming. So I love diversity, all inclusive. So all are welcome. I understand that might not be other people's opinions, but that's okay, man. So he's trying to get ahead on that ESG stuff, man. He's trying to get his bar rated highly on the, you know, with the ESG score. He's trying to get in the good graces of the real higher ups of the world, the real elites of the world. I understand. You know, he's taken that road. He's sold out. He sold his soul. Whereas me and a lot of you watching this video, probably 90% of you watching this video, are on the other side, where we're like, we're not going to sell our soul. We're going to stand up for what we believe in. And shout out to all of y'all, man. Shout out to all of you who have been watching these videos, who have been supporting all the Bud Light boycott videos, not just mine, but other people's as well. With that being said, if you could leave a like on the video and comment below with your thoughts on the Garth Brooks stuff, and also the sales going back to over 24% now, down in comparison to this week in the previous year. Let me know what you're thinking about the entire Bud Light boycott situation as of now.